Hi there everyone, my name is Soul, and today I want to talk to you guys about
Jurassic World Dominion.
and I don't think I've ever been more offended by a movie since the last Jurassic World movie. Jurassic Park was a very simple movie. Steven Spielberg read a book. He thought, let's put some fucking dinosaurs in CGI for the first time, it'll look great. He made some people labor over it for an eternity, and through that pressure, a beautiful diamond was created. It was Jurassic Park. My brother and I, we loved Jurassic Park, man. Do you remember being a kid when it was simple and fun, and like people would ask like your interests, and you could just be like, dinosaurs, and that was like a respectable answer? My brother and I love dinosaurs, man. We watched We're Back and all the Jurassic Parks. We watched like Discovery Channel dinosaur bullshit. We watched like the dinosaur TV show with like the big puppet things. You know, we're getting a little off the deep end on terms of what counts as dinosaurs, but we love dinosaurs, man. And we love Jurassic Park. I've seen the first Jurassic Park probably dozens of times. It was iconic, one of the best films out there. Even the sequels, The Lost World, I actually think is a little underrated. Jurassic Park 3 is whatever.
Alan.
But I would rather watch Jurassic Park 3 20 more times before I watch Jurassic World Dominion again. And I know you might be thinking, Jurassic Park 3? Soul? Really? That's like one of the worst fucking movies. Your opinion's trash. It's a dinosaur, it's fun family film. Why you hating, bro? I'll tell you why. Because this was a respectable franchise. And by franchise, I mean it was a single film and it was a respectable movie. And the first Jurassic World movie was like offensive enough, but I gave it a pass because it was like, let's just do Jurassic Park again, but in the year 2015. You know, the same thing with like Force Awakens. It was like, yeah, member berries. Those are nice. I wouldn't mind something new though. I like new things. That was part one of the end. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom completely dropped the ball, and it was retconning things, and then suddenly dinosaurs were all over the planet from like one little basement somehow. And then with this movie, it just went off the fucking rails. And I hate the argument that, oh, it's just like a fun family film. It's just supposed to be people running away from dinosaurs. It's a disaster movie. You know what was a good disaster movie? Jurassic Park. We already have it. If I want to watch a good movie where people run away from dinosaurs, I'll watch Jurassic Park. We don't need part 6. That sucks.
If you don't know Jurassic Park, you don't know shit.
And they bring back all the characters, and it's the first time that they've all been together since the first movie. I'm talking about Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ian Malcolm, Dr. Ellie Sattler, Dr. Eggman. And when Sam Neill and Laura Dern came on screen, yeah, my theater applauded, and they were just so happy. And the original characters in first Jurassic Park, you know, they're not like stunning characters. They don't have like amazing character motivation and depth. They're fine characters. I like them a lot. Alan Grant looks like my dad, and after like they both aged, now he really looks like my dad. But nothing about their performances like really made me feel like, oh, this is those characters that I loved. And they're kind of old now. It's kind of obvious when they're not doing a good job in the stunt departments. There's a part where Alan Grant falls, and instead of breaking his hip like a normal person, it just cuts to him like on the ground, but he tries to look like he just fell. He's like, oh! And that's like the whole take. And Jeff Goldblum, delightful person, can carry the worst of movies. He's here. He's doing all right for himself. I'm not gonna hate on Jeff Goldblum. If anything, I kind of hate Sattler and Grant's romance in this movie. In Jurassic Park 3, they brought back those two, and it was trying to say like, hey, they broke up. They were adults. One got remarried. The other one like really was passionate about their work. And I remember as a child, like not really understanding how marriage and shit worked, and like Jurassic Park 3 kind of told me, hey, the real world exists. People break up, things get hard. Not every movie romance is gonna stay together forever. And Jurassic Park Dominion kicked the fucking door down and
And was like, just kidding, fairy tales are real. Every romantic interest that ever fell for another romantic interest stayed together forever. All is well. Happy endings forever.
they got back together is what I'm trying to say. And they basically treat it like it's a high school teenage romance, and it's useless. It's a useless plot thread. Remember Dr. Wong, who is just a random guy in the first movie, and now he's like this integral character to the franchise. And he's a good guy, and then he's a bad guy. And the second I saw him in this movie, he's like dressed as a homeless person, and he's like quivering, and he's like, ooh. I was like, oh, he's a good guy again. He has more heel face turns than the Big Show. I'm all for making characters come back, but I like a continuation of a story, not the same story retold or the same story being fed back to me through member berries and being puked out. I like when characters are brought back and they do things with them, they evolve. They are now much older and have adapted to much later, and they are interacting with an entire new world of dinosaurs that is inhabiting the planet Earth. You can't tell me that they couldn't have done interesting things with these characters and how they would react to that. You couldn't have written something. If anything, my favorite character was Kayla Watts, played by DeWanda Weiss, who's a new character who's just a pilot who kind of gets roped into the whole situation. But guess what? She has more emotion than the rest of the cast combined, and she's kind of just used for like quippy one-liners. But, you know, it's a disaster movie. Sometimes that's the best you get. And she actually has a little bit of an arc. She actually starts to get some touchy-feelies and adapts to her situation like a character. And I would say something about the bad guy of this movie, but there is just so little to say about him. You're the guy who gave the one guy in Jurassic Park the Barbasol can.
Dodson! We've got Dodson here! See, nobody cares. Nice hat.
You wouldn't even know he's the bad guy. They don't even reference that, but it's that guy. And he's just kind of like an evil corporate CEO. He's basically the same villain that we've seen in 100 movies in the past year. He's basically just in charge of Big Pharma. Big Pharma is the villain of this movie. And they're very obviously manipulating people for money, and it's very obvious what they are doing. Like the human civilization must be pretty fucking dumb if they can't put two and two together that these people are literally trying to kill them. Like the message of this movie is like, oh, big evil corporation is trying to rob you of your health and money. Kind of like when I bought this fucking movie ticket. Or it's like, oh, the tale that Jurassic Park has told for 6 movies now. You should just let the past die. You should just let it die. Just let Jurassic Park die. And the actual plot of this movie is like, oh, there's these locusts that are disrupting the balance of food. They're eating the crops feed the animals feed the humans. Which would have been perfect if the dinosaurs just ate the human and then they finally come full circle, but no, that's not what they do. That would have been a cool ending though. Like the start of this movie is like,
Oh, humans and dinosaurs aren't coexisting.
and by the end of the movie, it's like, dinosaurs and humans must coexist, and they do. But nothing has changed. Like, why are we suddenly, like, coexisting with dinosaurs? Because there's a cool speech about it? Spoilers, by the way. That's gonna be the only spoiler, so don't worry, but you could have seen that a mile away. But the plot, like, really is trying to offend me, I swear to God. The fact that you're trying to say humans and dinosaurs coexist completely negates and trumps and contradicts what you've been saying for the past 5 movies, which is maybe we just shouldn't fuck with nature. But no, we fucked with nature and it's all good now. They're just trying to say, oh, a lot of people have to die to make it work. And there's a bunch of little things that like get under my skin. Like there's this part of the movie where like the dinosaurs have sensors. And they act like you're stupid for not knowing this. Like, oh no, we have sensors in the dinosaurs. We can tell them what to do with sensors. Which, where was this technology for the past 5 movies? But anyway, at the end of the movie, there's a storm and they're like, oh, send all the dinosaurs to like the center of the island, and they immediately just start attacking and killing each other. So to evade the storm, let's disturb their ecosystem and have them kill each other.
Perfect logic.
And by the end, it just becomes Jurassic Park again. They're on a big island. They're running away from dinosaurs. It's, you know, the big dinosaur moments, like seeing all the new dinosaurs, seeing like how what we've learned about dinosaurs in the past couple years since Jurassic Park like has affected the movies. Those are actual things that I'm here for. Like I'm a simple man. I like big dumb movies. I can get behind big dumb dinosaur makes entrance. I love that shit. That's what I grew up on. I grew up on Jurassic Park, and I popped for a T-Rex back in the day, the raptors, all that shit. But when it's being spoon-fed to me for the 6th time and insulting me in the process with a smile on their face, that's where I start to kind of lose my energy a little bit. And the sad thing is, like, I really wanted to like the first Jurassic World. I really wanted to like feel those feelings I felt as a kid, but despite that, they could have done it, by the way. Like the idea of dinosaurs in the human world. Like I remember seeing The Lost World and seeing the T-Rex in the backyard, and I thought that was the coolest shit ever. There is probably a million different skits, and there's like 1 or 2 that are cool. Like there's this thing with a flare with this dinosaur that just wanders into a construction site. Little moments like that I appreciate, but the majority of this movie is a complete waste of potential. They don't do anything with this idea other than like action set pieces that were probably designed by people who weren't even writing the script. It doesn't matter. The story they're trying to tell does not matter because they don't care. And if they don't care, then why should I? I feel like we're in a weird place now with streaming services and the internet where now having big franchises is like the big thing, because now you can kind of keep this wheel of content going for all of time. So now you want to milk the past as much as you can. So my childhood is just like this dead horse in the backyard, and every once in a while the movie business just clobbers it, keeps clobbering it. And if there's a franchise that really didn't need the treatment and just should have died and should have just remained in my childhood, it was Jurassic Park. My name is Soul. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and until next time, with that, I leave you.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should.
Did I mention that my theater applauded at the end of this movie? They had a wonderful time. They had a wonderful time. I'd probably give it a light 4 out of 10.